Good afternoon, viewers. Are back with me, Liliante, and my colleague Dias Bayu Sitio in the latest coverage studio. Today's news come from the Tanggerang area on Tuesday, January 19, 2021.
There was a flood disaster in the Tanggerang area, with a water level of up to 15 centimeters, starting to inundate a housing complex in Tanggerang.
For further information, we will connect with our colleague Duinita, who is already at the location of the flood occurred. Okay, Dwi, it is connected in there.
But already on Ellie.
How are things in here?
Well, as we can see, Ellie and Diaz, the situation there is still unstable, so the water has not reached there. The Wednesday morning, water reached to 2 meters in several parts of the complex.
Then how is the current condition in there?
Currently, the Tanggerang area disaster mitigation team has evacuated hundreds of residents from their home in the Ciledug Indah housing complex in Tanggerang. Here also, I'm with Iqbal, and a research person who informs about the flood disaster that occurred in the Ciledug Indah Tanggerang housing complex area.
Could you please tell a little about the chronology of the flood to the research person in there?
Okay, Ellie. So Iqbal, what is the chronology of the occurrence of flooding in the Ciledug Tanggerang housing complex?
So this flood occurs when it rains a lot. Then the water embankment near the housing complex burns.
Then what happened at that time?
At the time, we, the residents, were at home, and suddenly a puddle of water overflowed from the embankment area. Then the run of the house.
Fine, thank you Iqbal for the information that has been conveyed.
Okay, you're welcome.
Now I will go to the temporary shelter inside the government office, as well as the mosque, and ask questions of victims affected by this flood. Here I have been with two victims who were affected by the flood, namely Amelia and Nida. How are you both here?
Alhamdulillah, we are fine.
So, what was affected by this flood, Amel and Nida?
Of course, apart from my house, which was inundated by water, there are still some items that have not been saved and must have been submerged by water.
And what about Nida?
For myself, it's almost the same. There are still a lot of my belongings at home that are left behind and submerged by water.
Amel and Nida comfortable enough to live in the shelter.
For myself, it is quite comfortable, but myself, I'm still worried about the state of my house, so I occasionally see the condition of the house, even though the distance is quite far.
What about Nida?
I honestly find it quite difficult here because I'm not used to this condition, and also sometimes I have to queue to get food and also go to the bathroom during an emergency.
Well, thanks to Miss Amel and Nida for the information. Hopefully, it will always be smooth.
Yes, you're welcome.
It is good to see that there have also been several victims who returned to their homes because they were worried about the security of their homes. Find the information I got, and I conveyed and returned to the studio with Ellie and Diaz.
You also saw that some of the victims had returned home because they were still worried about the security of their homes.
Well, the information conveyed from the location.
And the next news will be delivered on recent evening coverage. With me, Ellie, and my companions, we say goodbye.
Okay, Ali, so Iqbal, what is the chronology of the occurrence of flooding in the Ciledug Tanggerang housing complex?
So this flood occurs.
Katutupan si Yasma.
Ya sininya kekecilan lagi. Tadi kok aku udah digedein biar kelihatan.
Ini. Here I've been. Sok. Tau udah. Mel apa nanti kecil?
Geus eta
Tuh. Marah-marah wae.
Nah,
gitu ya.
orang tuh.
Sok atuh dikit.
For myself.
Kieu kala ya sekalian.
Coba here I've been.
Isolasi.
And what about Nida?
For myself, it's almost the same. There are still a lot of my belongings at home. There are lupa.
Okay, Ali. So Iqbal, what is this? Here I've been with the victim who were affected by the flood. Amalia and Nisa. Si Iqbal.